Well, another video. Anyway, a guy I like, can't remember his name, used to be Bright, Helms, Velis, some whatever, I don't know. But anyway, unpronounceable name, whatever. Not gonna, too many letters, just too many letters. Can't even bother pronouncing it. Won't try. That's it, too lazy. Anyway, to the video.
Okay, this is a video response to Inmendham. I've been blocked from Inmendham channel, so I'm responding on Gary's other channel, Do Not God, which I posted a load of comments, a lot of comments in the comment section, and I know, Gary, how you hate people posting loads of comments on your videos, so I'm just going to go back over them in this video and post it as a response. Okay, so these are the, this is the initial comment I wrote on your video. The reason why you get labelled as a crank is not your opinion of what the nature of our predicament is.
You know, I really don't care about getting labeled a crank, alright? It's not about that. You're going to sit there and defend these assholes. That's all you're doing. And so you're defending these people who come back at me. They're the one accelerating the lows of the rhetoric, alright? I'm not the one who photoshops people. I'm not the one playing these fucking games. I'm not the one starring videos. I'm not the one, you know, talking trash about people and other people's comments. I mean, look at your own video and see what happens. Watch the comments on your own video and see the character of the people who are commenting on it. People who don't give a damn about anything you care about.
These opinions many people more or less share with you. Nor is it your insistence that your opinion is always right, and that pretty much everybody who deviates from it is an arsehole. Many people are arrogant, but they still command respect. The reason why you're hard to take seriously is the fact that you repeatedly attack your opponents in an often very personal and petty way for positions they don't actually hold.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, if calling somebody a fool is out of bounds, or a variety of fool, a fucktard, an idiot, a moron, a jackass, then fine, that's the world you live in, okay? To me, that's fair rhetoric. I mean, there's you know, if something's bad, it's bad. There's no point in pretending. If you think religion's a delusion, you say it. You don't sit there and pretend or use some other kind of word like fallusion or collusion or ballusion. I mean, fuck it.
Which is perhaps forgivable, but then you make no attempt to understand their positions and deal with them or defeat them in a rational way.
Yeah, that's the bullshit part. Fuck you, alright? The evidence in my videos is there. I make the logical argument. I don't bring to the fucking goddamn fight a pile of magic dust or fairy words like, you know, nostalgia or you know, whatever, all that mat shit and all the to be serious with her mother nature. What the fuck is that? That's not a fucking piece of rational argumentation.
Instead of dialogue, you insist that people disprove your empty assertions, such as evolution is crude
Empty? No, they're very direct statements.
Forces, or we are bacteria with brains, both of which are value statements and cannot be either proven or disproven because they're not fact.
Oh, you know, you can say that values don't have a factual reality. You can say that. I make just the opposite contention. So you go ahead and prove your statement that these things they aren't objective truths. Well, that's just your fucking opinion, jackass. It's my fucking opinion that there are truths to be described in the universe. And if somebody says a Holocaust is a horrible thing, it can be stated it's a truth, okay? It's a truth. It doesn't need, you know, this standard of objectively. Well, objectively, it really doesn't matter. Well, unless suffering matters, because then it does fucking matter.
It's up to you to prove your claims, not anybody else to disprove them.
Right, and I got, whatever, 1,100 fucking videos doing exactly that.
You can't do that without making personal attacks and throwing temper tantrums. Then what do you expect when people take the piss out of you? So let's take a...
Yeah, whatever, again, it's about their tactics, alright? They don't come to me with fucktard or something else. They make videos, Inmendham is wrong in the title, and then they don't produce the goods. They don't produce the evidence that Inmendham is wrong. All right? Or then they make, you know, Inmendham is a genius. It's okay, a little bit of a, you know, punnage, whatever you want to call that. What the fuck is that shit? Point to the video where I play those games, fucker.
Look at the facts. Fact number 1, nature is shaped and confined by crude forces. It creates without concern for consequences. I mean, crude is a value statement to say.
No. Crude is can be measured. All right, we know what we know what a lot is, and we know what a little is. All right, it's little. It has little judgment. It has little filtering or processing, little intelligence built into its behavior. Okay, nature has no brain. All right, has no capacity to rationally equate and evaluate. It's dumb. It's crude. It's unsophisticated in its judgment.
It's crude. I mean, crude in comparison to what? You know, if you're measuring, if you're trying to measure something, then you need to measure it next to something else.
Yes, next to a functional retard. It is crude. It has less judgment. I would rather, if something's going to build a universe, I'd rather it be a retard that builds the universe than the crude forces of nature. I mean, there's not much else dumber than nature. I mean, I could ask a rock to build the universe, but obviously it can't, because it's just as crude as nature. It's just as stupid. But I guess, you know, if I had to pick something, I mean, I could pick anything. Anything on the scale of sophistication would be better than the fucking nothing that is nature. Nature has no capacity to make a judgment, a rational, reasonable, meaningfully sophisticated judgment.
So what is nature crude compared to? What is evolution?
Everything not as unsophisticated as it, which includes everything that's more sophisticated than it.
Crude compared to. You put it creates without concern for consequences. Or it, I mean, you seem to contradict yourself here all the time, because you keep talking about nature as if it has intelligence, as if it is creating.
It's bullshit. I'm not trying to insult nature. I'm describing it, you jackass. I'm clearly describing it. I'm not just throwing an insult at it. I'm not trying to hurt its fucking feelings.
You know, in such a way that it could have concern for consequences. So how is it a valid criticism of nature that it doesn't have concern for consequences when it can't?
Well, whether it can or it can't, it does have nothing to do with it. The fact is, it's a rotten, lousy thing to be in control. I mean, if we elected a rock president of the United States tomorrow, people could legitimately point and say, that's really fucktarded. That's goddamn stupid. You put a rock in control of the fucking world? What are you, insane?
Have concern for consequences. Okay, fact number 2. We're little more than bacteria with brains. Right, so you're using this as a metaphor. So I mean, how do you expect me to disprove that?
Oh, well, come on. It's a metaphor that's representing a truth, okay? And the truth I have described in more detail, all right? Our biology is the same as the bacteria, okay? The DNA is on the same mission as the bacteria DNA. Most of our features, most of our electric windowy kind of bullshit that we have, most of the add-ons, that's all they are. They're just features, okay? Like a praying mantis's little sticky arms, and you know, they're just features that make us more capable of doing the bacteria thing. And the point is that that's what's underneath us, and we do have a fucking brain, and we can use it. Okay, we can let it be in control, or we can say, okay, we're just going to use the brain as another tool. We're just going to use it like a hammer. We're just going to use it like a club. We're just going to use it to get what we want. We're not going to let it define the goals. We're not going to let it define the values. We're going to let the subjective ape define the motherfucking values.
It's a metaphor. I mean, the core of what you're really trying to illustrate with this bacteria with brains metaphor is that we consume and reproduce in principle in the same, pretty much the same as bacteria consumes and reproduces. But so what? I mean, what?
Yeah, so what? So what? We're a poor design. So what? We're on a fucktarded mission. So what? No, the so what part is that this involves sentient creatures. The capacity to feel exists in this world, this living world that has been created. And that gives the universe meaning. I've said that before. That's a premise, okay? That's a fundamental premise. Suffering matters. I did a whole video on it, okay? If you don't believe suffering matters, we have nothing to talk about, okay? We have no capacity to communicate to each other anything. Because to me, without that understanding that suffering matters, that pain matters, that deprivation matters, if you can't appreciate that that's the only thing in this fucking universe that does matter, if you can't figure that out, there's no point. There's no point of us even brushing apart against each other in some gravitational way. Not even magnetism, nothing. We have nothing to say to each other.